Alright, so we're here for round one, and this is a perfect hand. Well, it's not perfect. I mean, we'd like a removal spell, but starting with 3 lands, the Underworld Connections, and the Thoughtseize means that if our opponent doesn't start with an aggressive strategy, this should be a pretty good hand. And one of the main reasons why I've been moving towards this deck, also if we draw Brimaz, we have a good anti-aggressive card, but I have no qualms with keeping a hand with a Thoughtseize and a couple more lands to go with it. But this is Moto, so alright, so Mutavault on the... So that means we're going to get burned out. Yeah, we're going to see a fistful of burn here, and we're going to lose round one, because this is not a good match. Oh, never mind. Alright, so he's just going to get on the aggressive, playing a turn 1, or attacking for 2 on turn 1. Turn 2, excuse me. I can't speak. This is kind of a rough hand. We do have one out to his Underworld Connections, and we have one connections of our own. So I'm pretty sure we just are supposed to take one of the connections and not let him get 2 online. I mean, he can keep a downfall. Like, he's probably going to have to downfall this, and then maybe the Elspeth actually sticks. Hopefully he did not dry Thoughtseize this turn. Or Pack Rat. Both of... No attack either? Alright, so... He must have drawn a removal spell? What did... I mean, he didn't have one, right? He had just a downfall, so... This just means he drew Devour Flesh or Ultimate Price? Like, why wouldn't he have attacked that turn? It's very interesting. So now we have to put him on one of those 2 removal spells. Probably Devour Flesh. Alright, so he's going to get a connections, we're going to get a connections, we're all going to have a connections. And we're going to see the one downside to our list compared to others is that we don't have, we're going to want to put it on a plane since we have so much white anyway. So we'll just get this connections on our planes, pass the turn to him. Since he has a downfall, we're not going to like jam our demon, we're just going to start drawing cards. Try to find our own removal spells, our own creatures. We want to stay with him on card advantage. So right now his hand is a Devour Flesh, a Grey Merchant, and a downfall along with 1 unknown. Depending on our opponent's play skill, he might not have temples. I think I would have drawn a card to temple to start things off. Now drawing another demon, I almost just want to jam a demon, get it downfall, jam a demon, get it downfalled, and then play an Elspeth. I actually think that's just the best line. We missed 1 draw here, but we don't want to get tempoed out. And since he attacked in Midrange, he can't just downfall this turn, he has to waste his next turn doing it. So he is going to get more card advantage from his Underworld Connections than us. But we're going to get kind of a tempo advantage now. Alright, double Mutavault does get beat by our Elspeth, which is fine. He's just going to main phase that. He's not going to keep the aggression going. We can just Thoughtseize here. Try to rip that Devour Flesh out of his hand, and then play our demon. Unless we want the life gain. We miss on this again, but then this is also clears the path of him potentially having Devour Flesh and another downfall. So yeah, I like this. I think we're going to try to win the game with Elspeth and hope he doesn't draw Thoughtseize next turn. So okay, so he has double Devour Flesh. So we're not going to take one of these. We're going to take the card that scares us the most. And since he has 2, he would have to draw another Swamp to be able to play this. I think we're just going to take Grey Merchant. Alright, so what happens? He's going to draw a card. We should just probably draw a card. I don't think we just need to jam a demon into not drawing a card. Like, that'll come down and that'll get Devour Fleshed eventually in this game. So forcing that to happen we don't need to do that right now. The card we're most scared of, I think, is the Grey Merchant, since we have 4 Bio Blights and 4 downfalls for this Nightfell Spectre. But what is this going to do? It's just, he's going to have to tap out for it. And then we're going to Elspeth, but then he's going to have enough power on the board. I mean, both ways he's going to have enough power on the board to kill our Elspeth. Maybe we're supposed to draw a card. No, we weren't supposed to draw a card first. We were just going to try to get one of the Devour Fleshes. Didn't think he was going to have two. Alright, we got to make a decision here. Multiple Grey Merchants could be a lot worse than just a Knife Elspectre. But he will have to tap out for a Grey Merchant, letting us play our Elspeth. Yeah, I'm just going to take Spectre. Draw. I'm not going to jam Demon. Alright, we drew a Temple. Oh, we will put that on top. Now that's going to have... that's not going to be our play next turn. That's going to end up happening after we get our Elspeth tokens. We just have to fade a Thoughtseize or a Downfall. And he's just going to jam Grey Merchant, hoping he doesn't have another one in hand. Okay. I would not have played my turn that way. Now we just have to hope he doesn't have a Bile-Blight. Okay, Downfall's not that bad because he's just got Devour Fleshes. Downfall's not that bad because he has only 2 Devour Fleshes left. And we're just going to take this because we're going to get our Obsidian online. And we don't want to lose any of our tokens just yet. No point in drawing yet in case he draws Thoughtseize. Alright, we're going to get that trigger. We're going to start gaining some life. We'll put a Godless into play tapped, and we will pass the turn. And now... he might get aggressive with those Mutavaults next turn. Yes, I would love to exile my Obsidian. Since one attack is pretty much the same. Like, if we keep it in play to block, like, sure, he might not be able to attack into it, but at the same time, it's going to come into play, blink, gain us 2 more life, and he has to invest all of his mana into attacking us. So he might only be able to attack us with this anyway, which means that it would cost us 2 of his life. We're going to stay the same if just this attacks and we take it, but our opponent would lose 2 life by blinking it out. And also, if he draws a removal spell for it, then we want that the actual life gain, life loss to happen. Alright, so he is just going to get aggressive. Okay, we want to draw no matter what. And let's see what we draw. So we draw Mutavault. Mutavault's going to help. The issue at hand is that if he has another land, he's going to be able to kill our Obsidian. But at the same token, we're getting to a point where another Grey Merchant can kill us because we don't have another removal spell. So I almost just want to trade off for one of these. He has to have another land, and then yeah, because if he just if we would have to, if we block 1, we're gonna go to 4, go up to 6, and then another Grey Merchant kills us. But this play forces the hand of the Devour Flushes and means that we're not going to die. And I don't want to die. Especially since I'm killing land, so like, you know, lands are a vital resource. And we're going to go up to 17. And he's going to have to not use his connections this turn, and he has to have, yeah. So, since he doesn't have the land, it's protected. Oh, okay, so he just had another downfall. Alright, so he's still on 2 Devour Flesh in hand. Let's draw for the turn, see if we find another something big. Yeah, that counts. That counts as something good. So we're gonna play a Mutavault, play a Brimaz, and play a Demon. And might as well get in for one. Oh, we're also just stone dead to another Grey Merchant, though. Because he didn't have to use the Devour Fleshes. I forgot about that. I'm still learning. I'm still, like I said in the deck tech, I'm still learning how to get back into black-white, since all the trends make me think that this is going to be a very good deck. I gotta learn it, because I might end up playing at the Invitational. Alright, Pack Rat is not a Grey Merchant. Pack Rat still can kill us, though. We really want him to... Now I don't want him to devour us, because they're just like little guys. Alright, so Power Play is really good. Alright, how are we playing this turn? Might as well keep drawing. Right, because we don't have much life gain in our deck, but yeah, like that's going to be good. We're going to want to buy out, and we're going to want to make a Pack Rat. So we do need the land, and we'll just make 1 token. Let's see what he does with his turn. Alright, this thing's coming in because at worst we don't lose anything. I feel like we're supposed to just Bile Blight now. Yeah, we're supposed to just get these off the board. Do discard. Discard a Swamp, so he still has 2 Devour Flushes in hand. And again, we have to fade him having a Grey Merchant. I think we can beat everything else next turn. Come on, baby. No Grey Merchant. Alright, well that is wonderful. Since he just has Devour Flushes, he can Devour Flush his own guy, but I don't think that's going to be enough with how much we're going to be attacking for next turn. He's probably going to have to Mutavault, sack for this. Alright, so he played a land. So he has 2 Devour Flushes. 1 for me, 1 for him. Alright, so we will just make a rat at the end of turn. Alright, so we drew a rat. What does that mean? That doesn't change anything except it makes our rats bigger. Since he has 2 connections, drawing a card. So we're going to play a rat, we're going to play these 3 lands to discard a rat, and we're going to attack. So we're going to want to we're going to want to draw. Bioblite's interesting. Oh, wow. How does Bioblite interact with this board position? Bioblite might actually just be awesome, because if he devours himself, we can, like, Bioblite this in response, only gaining him 1 life, so he's going to gain 8, so we don't get to make any decisions currently. We're just going to play a rat and attack with Mutavault, and then we will see what deals more damage, which... So he's going to draw. Alright, so we don't get to have this awesome situation. Now, against Mono Black, when I was in the Mono Black mirrors, let's resize this. I'm still learning version 4, so if I don't do this correctly, you know, you guys actually at home, let me give me some tips on what would be the best ways to resize this for you guys. But so for this matchup, I'm relearning how to sideboard. And since he has Night Veils, we want all of our Brimaz because it's good against like Devour Flesh. We're going to gain 4, but Bioblade doesn't kill it, so the opponent's going to have to use their downfalls on it. We're going to want all our Bioblites because they have Night Veil Specters. I even want my Devour Fleshes for the matchup, and I'm fairly certain we want at least a Deicide, maybe both. Now, Desecration Demon's always this card that, like, I sometimes, like, win with, and sometimes it's bad. So I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with that card, along with Erebos. Now, I assume that Erebos is just for control, because in this matchup, we don't have a lot of resources to draw. So, like, whereas this card used to be awesome in the Mono Black mirrors, and I loved it, I don't want it in this deck for the fact that I don't have all the life gain that they do. I don't have Gray Merchants to get me back in the game, so I can't go crazy with an Erebos. Now against like an Esper deck, they have no way to punish my life total, so I don't mind draining multiple times. I just want the card advantage, and this is a great source for that. So I don't care if I go down to 5 life. Like, if they find a way to kill me with Mutavaults, that's my mistake. I screwed up somewhere. But this is the configuration that I want against in this matchup after sideboard. I want every answer I have for Heroes Down or for Underworld Connections, then I just want a bunch of ways to kill all his creatures, and that's usually going to be enough. So this is the configuration I want against Mono Black, at least on the draw. Now, if he had Lifebane Zombie, it'd be a little bit different. I'd probably need to keep in. All right, let's see the true power of the Brimaz. If this Thoughtseize is a Bioblite, that's a little awkward for us, but Brimaz is also okay at fighting Pack Rats. It's not great, but if he takes one, that would be really funny. But pretty much this tells us if we need to worry about Pack Rat or not. So we have to worry about Pack Rat. And so this Temple is going to want to hit a removal spell. Oh. He would not take the Bioblite if his hand was full of removal, so it's full of threats. So we have to just drop... Oh, I don't like this logic. I hate these decisions. Alright, so if our opponent took a Brimaz, that meant it had a lot of removal in it, which making Underworld Connections good. But because he didn't take one of them, that means that he's not afraid of them coming out one at a time. So his hand is probably full of creatures. Or he has 3 removal spells. No, he wouldn't. He would just take one of them and just ignore the Bioblite. So he probably doesn't have connections either. I think this is going to be a more aggressive game. We're going to bottom. Okay. Well, I might have shot myself in the foot by not taking my connections. I mean, I feel like my logic was sound, especially if he had a duress. I think he just takes one of the Brimazes. Oh, he boarded in Lifebanes. All right. That's a reason. Good thing we have replacements. We got a Bromaz going on right now with how many we got in our hand, so we don't really mind one of them being gone. They do not cost black. And now we just drew our answer for demon, so like since we didn't have one, he might just jam a demon, which is great that we drew a removal spell for it. Alright, Sign and Blip. That's pretty good for this matchup. And missing land drops. Okay, so we're going to want to Thoughtseize him. Connections, Airboast, Demon. Alright, well, I don't really care about anything but his demons. I just don't want him to go double demon. And so and we're going to attack with the Mutavault here because if we draw another land, then we get to attack with it again, and we're not going to kill this. We're going to kill his demon. So now if we oh, he's getting aggressive. Alright, so since we did draw land, we're able to go downfall that. Put him at 3, and now it's really tough for him to come back in the game in any way, especially since we know he has double connections Airboast in hand. Yeah. But so maybe there was I feel like that was the correct decision to scry connections to the bottom, since we already had like all these Breemazes that are, you know, theoretically better to put into play, unless the game was a connections game. Then we want our own connections, so we can go connections, play a guy, they go removal, we both are drawing cards. But since he just snap Thoughtseized the Bioblight, I mean, my gut told me that it was going to be a lot more aggressive game than what ended up happening. So I'd like to know what you guys think about that decision to scry honorable connections to the bottom. I think that's actually a really interesting turn. So anyway, thanks for watching. Join me for round 2.